Can you believe it? Look at this. Could you believe somebody would do something like this? Look, what's wrong with this picture? I mean, look, how's this gonna work? That's never gonna go. What are they thinking? Alright. Well, I did that one, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it. But let me show you what's wrong with this, besides the obvious. Alright, let's look down in here. Alright, there's the pipe. Okay, you see where it's coming in at this point, alright? So, this is never going to work. I was in a hurry, and like I say, don't get in a hurry. Take your time to do it right. And so anyways, alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to now take this off, alright? Then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. How am I going to figure out how to cut? Alright, that's the question. How am I going to fix the problem? As a teacher, a friend of mine used to say, if you make a mistake, can you fix it? That's the question. So let's see. Alright, let's see what we're going to do. Okay, now, this is how we're going to solve our problem. Now I've got this right up against this drywall, alright, so I'm going to move it forward just about 1/8 of an inch, alright. Now, if I look at it this way, okay, it looks like you got to read from the back side of the tape, alright, so we've got 4 basically, alright, then over here, if you go to the back side, looks like you got about 6 7/8, 7, but that's not how we're going to read it. Because this changes, because remember the thickness of your drywall is only 1/2 inch, and this is a 1 inch. Alright, from one side of the tape to the other is 1 inch. So, we want to turn it on edge. Now, what do we have? Alright, we have about 1/8. Okay, now we have, looks like at the closest point here, alright, looks like we have, okay, 4, it's still 4. Okay, and 7 is going to work in the front, alright, so it's 7 and 4. So I'm going to measure over from the outer edge of my drywall to 4. We're going to make it 4 1/8, alright, 4 1/8. And then I'm going to go 7 inches over here. I'm going to use a cardboard. I've already have my template. Alright, I laid my drywall on a piece of cardboard and I've cut my template out. Okay? So, let's do this. Next thing I'm going to do is I need to measure up from the bottom. Alright. So if I measure up from the bottom, okay, at this point, you want to come right back here where the drywall is going to set. Alright, so I'm going to the floor, straight down below. Then I'm going to raise this up. I'm going to take 1.5 or 1/2 inch off of my measurement, alright, because I'm going to raise it up about 1/2 inch. Okay, so to the bottom of this, okay, we have 17, so that would make that 16 1/2. So that'll be up here at 16 1/2. And that'll be about right. Alright, so 16 1/2. Remember that. Okay, now I'm measuring from the bottom up, all right? And so I'm going to take this, that was 16.5, all right? I'm going to make a line right here, straighten line with that 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to bring it to the other side. Okay, 16.5. Now what I'm going to show you takes a little practice, but once you get this down, it sure does make things a little bit quicker. You don't have to find a straight edge. You don't have to, a speed square isn't going to go across the width of that. That's 12 inches. Hook on one side, line up your pencil lines with the edge of your tape, turn your tape on edge, all right, like this. Let me see what you can see. All right, now my pencil line, okay, let me double check my measurement here, make sure that we're right on. Okay, looks like I was off a tad. Something didn't look right, or let's see. And double check this here. Ah, I got, see? Double check. Double check your measurements. Okay. Now, I'm going to line this up. This was running crooked, and that's what was my giveaway. Alright? So, my pencil line. Alright, line them up. Okay, don't put any pressure against the tape. Just run this along the edge. Bam. 16.5. Let's check it. Alright. Now, what we're going to do is, okay, now one thing I didn't do, I should have done to start with. Alright. When this was up against the wall, I'm pulling from the right side, all right? So I could either make an R for right side, all right? Or I could make a W for wall because it's going up against the drywall, right? Or you make a star here and a star over there at the same point. And if you're learning, and you're starting out, you don't get confused that way, okay? Or you start out and you make a right and a left when it's in place, and when you take it away, there's no confusion, all right? But you do it when it's in place, not after the fact like I just did, okay? All right, now, so I'm pulling from the right side, all right? So that was 4 and what? What did I say? Yes, you're right. 4 and 1/8. All right. And the 1/8 is 2 lines past 4. That's 2/16 make up an 1/8. All right. So here I am at 4 and 1/8. Right here. And then what did I say that was? 7. All right, we're going to come in 7. So now, we know that the bottom is 16, all right? So, that's going to be our bottom. Now, we also know that this pipe is basically, it's 1 3/4 inches, but to give a little bit of wiggle room, all right? And then what is, now see, we have more than 2 inches right here, 1 3/4, all right? So, I do not have to make this hole any bigger. We have the built-in wiggle room because of the angle on the pipe. All right? Now, so, you can use a template for this, or you can pencil it in. All right? So, I'm going to come up here, I'm going to come up here to like 2 inches up. Okay, come over here. I'm coming 2 inches up. All right, now all I got to do is connect the dots. Right in here, started just below the top of that 2 inch and create the curve. All right, then let's catch it from this side. All right. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to come just a little bit below that line for a little bit of wiggle room. All right, right from this corner here. Now, I could use a cup, all right, or a lid as a template. Now, remember, this is cardboard. If you mess up, no big deal, all right? Now, that should be just about perfect. So I'm going to cut that out and get to it. All right, again, this is for the person learning. All right, so let's just pick this up. All right. I'm just going to punch that in there. Okay, then we're just gonna, kind of like a can opener, work it back and forth. All right, then we're gonna kind of twist the handle. All right, now I can take this, and you can follow this around also. That's probably the easier way. The other way just makes it more complicated. And some of you were saying, Ken, I thought you knew what you were doing, or you're making that complicated on purpose. No. That's what you don't want to do the way I started it, all right? Just come in here and see my thumb, I'm pivoting on my thumb, all right? I'm sitting here and I'm pivoting and making this circle as I do that, all right? I get my thumb in position, okay, and then I reposition my thumb, reposition the paper, and I come on around, all right, reposition your paper, all right, put it in your previous cut mark, and keep your eye on the pencil mark and bring it on around, okay. Now we should be able to just, yeah, it's not quite through yet. All right, but you got the idea. I'm not wanting to waste your time sitting here, you watching me, and it just makes for a longer video. And I'm trying not to do that, okay? Bam, that's rough, but that will work. All right, remember this is under the sink. Now you want to make it look as nice as possible. So let's not go, it's under the sink, nobody will see it, it doesn't matter, it matters. It matters. If you make it look as good as on the inside as you do on the outside, you're going to do really good work. Alright, question is that hole too big? What do you think? It's a moment of truth. Alright, so this is drywall. Remember, it's going to be a 1/2 inch thick. So it's going to grab on the back side first. Then it's going to hit on the front side over here. Now it's cardboard, so let's see. How's the cardboard going to... Oh, what's that? Look what's going on. I got to back up. All right, let's see this. Nothing's wrong with your TV set. All right, now let's get this. Okay. It's dropping. All right, now We have a gap here at the bottom. All right, so we know it's a little bit too much there. Now let's raise it up where it's going to go. And that ought to work. Now, so I know I can make my hole smaller. No, not really, just the bottom. I don't have to cut that far down on the bottom. All right, so I only need to come down about 1/4 inch when I lay this on my drywall, and this will be my pattern. So that's going to be perfect. I just need to make it, I need to get rid of this so that it comes down about right here and kind of hugs the bottom of that. And kind of round this up a little bit, but we'll see. Remember, you can fill this in with drywall mud and it will smooth out and look nice if you take your time to do that. Like I keep saying, if you make the inside look as good as the outside, you're going to do good work. And it will perfect your skill big time. So, next will be making the pattern. Alright, now real quick, this is where it goes. Let's see where the other hole was. Wow, what a huge difference. Alright, the other hole is here. Right there, center of the other hole. Alright, major difference. So remember how we got the measurements to get this hole on our pattern. That's the key. Remember, it's 1/2 inch thick, so it's going to make it a little bit tighter. Alright, I'm going to take you through this process here with me. Alright. I could be using a cup or I could be using a lid. Alright, but we're just going to do this now. Remember my R, alright, going to the drywall on the right side. There it is, okay? Alright, so that's going to that side. Now, no further ado, let's go through this process. Okay, now, get my template lined up with my new piece of drywall I just cut. Alright, now, get this all lined up. Remember, do you remember the big space I had underneath? Even after I raised it up. Alright, so I'm going to come in here. Alright, and I'm going to, here's the line. So I'm going to just kind of come just a little below. Alright. Your circles catch you from the left and right side. It makes it a little easier to kind of shape your circle. Alright. I can adjust that when I cut it as well. Get a little bit more of a radius on this. Okay, more radius I can do with my cut. And this needed a little bit more of a radius here. So I'm going to cut the corner and make a radius here. And take this and kind of come around. Okay, make a little line at this point. Alright, then I kind of come to that point within the radius, finishing the circle. Alright, now if I had any gaps, I will take drywall mud and I will fill the gaps with the drywall. Okay, I got to come out here a little bit. And again, you can adjust this when you cut. It's not a perfect circle. Let's see, I'm going to make it a perfect circle. This is what I mean. But that's a little too big. Alright, but I can take this, place it right on that pencil line, okay? And I can come in here and do this. Alright, then catch it here. Then do the same, bring it to the other side. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. Alright. So just a little bit of adjustment here makes it nice. Okay, now, but often we make things more complicated than what they are. I'm going to put my thumb down and I'm just going to pivot on my thumb, all right, as a fulcrum. Okay, we are going to just pivot, keeping your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the line. You can adjust your thumb accordingly. All right, it makes it easier if you move your material. All right. This is where being ambidextrous comes in handy. All right, or you just keep moving your material. Until it's in a comfortable spot for you to cut. All right. Now I'm not pivot. Well, I am going to pivot here with thumb. Now a hole saw. You could use a hole saw on this, a tile hole saw, and you'd have a perfect little cut. It would look just so pretty. Okay, and you could. But if I did that, then you wouldn't be seeing how to do this without doing that. All right, but I could have a tile hole saw this size, and I could make a pretty little hole, pretty little cut. All right, and it'd be done now. And that's the beauty of doing it that way. All right, but if funds are tight, you don't have the money to go buy a tile hole saw. You could use a wood hole saw for cutting holes in doors or holes in wood, but it will dull your blade right now. One cut, it'll be dull. 3 cuts, it will be, you won't have an edge anymore. It won't even be sharp. All right, so you can use it in a pinch. But if you want to preserve your wood cutting hole saws, all right, I am punching this through right now, all right? And this is how you punch through the drywall. Just push it down and in, just work it back and forth and punch all the way through, all right? This expedites the process once you get that hole cut out. Then if I need to make it bigger, I can do that after I get this cut, and it's a whole lot easier. Okay. Let me see that. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Good, yes. All right. Now, like I keep saying though, if you take the time to make the inside unseen as nice as the seen, it will perfect your skill for those that are learning, and it'll make you a better craftsman. You become a craftsman. Okay? If there's any teenagers watching this, you know, Dad's always telling me, or Grandpa, or somebody, or my brother's always, they're right. They're not telling you wrong. They're looking out for you to help you become a better carpenter, craftsman, whatever it is you're doing. All right? Who cares? It's just under the sink. Well, yeah, you want mice crawling in and out of that hole? It's just under the sink. You want bugs? Maybe, you never know. You know, we live in a world with animals and whatnot. All right, now, so if you take the time to do the unseen as nice as you do the seen, it'll help you to become a very, very good carpenter or craftsman. All right, let's see this now. Moment of truth. Will it stay or will it go now? Will it stay or will it go? All right, now I made it nice and tight. Okay, it's gonna work. By George, we're going to look at this up close and personal. Not now, but right now. All right. How's this faring? Is it going to fare? Is it going to start? How am I looking over here? Look at that. And look at that over there. All right, now we got this pushed in around here. All right. Now, I will just knock that out. Fill it with some drywall mud. Look at this. Is it gonna work? Oh yes, look at that. Look at that. Bam. Perfect. Now let's just look across that bad boy. Right there. Huh. How. That's what I'm talking about. Right now. All right, looks like I gotta take just a hair off of that. Just a hair. And I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. This is gonna work, all right? This is out here, but if I push this in with my foot, all right, I'm going to show you how I'm going to clean this up. Okay? Now, all I'm going to do to fix this, to make it fit, is I am going to, if I ever make money on YouTube, I will have to pay somebody to do my camera. Let me tell you what. Alright, now this is how you fix it. Okay, I've got a little bit too much sticking out beyond. So I'm going to put this right here in place where it goes. Alright, I'm going to hold it in place. Take my drywall knife, I'm going to cut out where it's bumping. Where it's bumping against the other. Just kind of take your blade, twist it in towards your drywall slightly. So you're just barely cutting the outer surface. And you'll catch the excess. Alright, that's interfering with it going up tight. Okay, now let's see. Now we can make adjustments on this piece here. Alright, perfect. Now I'm going to show you this, what we did with the adjustment. Alright, let's do that. Okay, now, alright, there's the outer corner. Okay, we're going to push this in. Alright, now, right where it belongs. Right where it belongs. Right there. See? That adjustment worked. And there's a debris at the bottom. That little bit was interfering with this sitting in there properly. Alright. Now if you didn't take the time to do this, you'd never know that. Now how big am I around this thing? Alright, how much space? Now that's more space than what I wanted. Quite a bit. No, I gotta raise this up. What am I saying? Alright, so I'm gonna raise this up a bit. Okay, now after I raise this up, and I can take a little bit off the top and make that adjustment. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut a little bit off of this top and make that adjustment. I'll show you. Alright, we're going to cut that line off the top. Okay, now when you're cutting, you want to pivot at the elbow, at the shoulder I mean. Your shoulder's a hinge. Hinge, straighten your arm like a pendulum. Keep it tight and hinge at the elbow. Alright, get your body lined up with that cut. Alright, keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on that pencil line. Alright, and you just hinge, go slow on the elbow, at the shoulder. Alright, hinge at the shoulder. Alright. That's the trick to cutting straight. Now it's all about practicing that. Tightening up your arm and hinging at the elbow. wrist also. For many of you, this is something you already know. But again, this is for the person learning. Person's never done it before. I've scored this just about all the way through. You can then take it and snap it back. Alright? And then again, you just cut into the bend on the back side. Alright? You gotta be careful so you don't cut yourself, of course. You want to turn your blade towards your drywall, alright, when you do this. Now I'm just going to come in here and cut this back side. Now that you can do, and nobody's going to know, and that's perfectly acceptable. Alright, this back side you will never see. You just cut right into it, bam. Alright. Now let's get her up. Okay, moment of truth. Remember the gap we had at the bottom of this. Alright. Let's look how well it's fitting. Okay, now I transferred half of that distance. Alright. And I brought it up. I cut that off the top. Alright. Now, that's okay. This will get full of tape, mud, and then tape, and that'll be filled. I'll point out one more thing here. So see, this hole is perfectly okay. I don't have a gaping hole. That's not too terrible. Alright, I can fill that with drywall mud and put up some tape, and man, it'll be gooder than good. Alright, that's nice and tight right there. That's basically caulkable there. But I'm gonna not do that. I'm going to put on drywall mud. Okay. Now I'll point out one more thing to you here. Alright, you notice I've got this mark here. And I've got this mark here. What is that? I could also have them on the floor. I do have these tabs. Okay, and I could use those tabs from the furring strips, alright? Those represent 2x4s. Alright? So this is a block, alright, here, and there's my marks, there's my block, alright. See these two lines represent my stud. There's my nail that happens to be showing, okay. So these are things you want to do. You can mark your floor, you can mark the studs up here, see at the ceiling where that's exposed. I could take and I could make a mark right here at the top. Okay, we know there's one in the corner. Now I could come over here and on this adjacent wall over here, and I could make a line right here on this wall to the center of that block. Now I know there's a block right there going across. Okay, I could mark it on this here, okay, kind of put a downward arrow. Little things, if you don't know what to do, make a difference. And your nailing pattern, 4 to 6 inches, okay. When you're doing plywood, it's like 6 on the outside and 4 in the center to do it right. It's at 6 inches of each. Now these nails are way far apart, so I'm going to put one here in the middle. I might even put another one in the middle of these two. Definitely put a middle in the middle of these two. Alright. And so for nailing up your drywall, 6 inches you're good. You want to go 4 inches between nails, that's fine too. So you want to come here or start at the bottom and come up, put one in the bottom about 3/4 of an inch up, 3/4 of an inch away. And your dead center of your stud that way. Okay, your stud, center of your stud is 3/4 of an inch. Okay, you split 1.5 inches in half. You got 3/4 and 3/4 make a half. Think of a measuring cup. Okay, 3/4 and 3/4 of a cup is 1.5 cups. Same, all right. So that's just a little tip, pro tip, not really a pro tip. But anyways, all right. Okay. This concludes this session. when you want to see something up close and personal, remember me, Easy 2 Tips and Tricks, where you won't waste your time trying to get the info. Now, you might need to kind of surf through the video possibly to look for what you're wanting to find out. And then if it's not there, hit me up. And I'm more glad to try to explain it to you. If I don't know it, I'll tell you. But if I can help you, I surely will. So remember, for up close and personal videos, Easy 2 Tips and Tricks, ECT, etc. So bye for now. God bless. Take care. And as always, never give up, because there's always a way. Always. We just have to find out what that way is. And united we stand, and united we make it happen here on YouTube, helping one another out. Bye for now. I appreciate your time, most definitely.